Hey folks, welcome back. I'm going to continue working on the movement and animation blueprint for the T-72 tank that I started. There is one thing I want to change in the code before I do though, which is right here in my set steering method in my ground vehicle class. Um, right now I'm doing set steering input, which is more for a normal vehicle. So this would allow the vehicle to turn when the vehicle is moving, but that is not really what I want. Since this is a tank, what I want is to be able to turn without moving forward or backwards, right? So I'm going to change this to set yaw input instead of set steering input. Now, this is going to work fine for a tank, but this will obviously not work fine if we start adding some wheeled vehicles in. So at some point, you can imagine I'm probably going to have some sort of member variable like B is tracked vehicle or something like that. So eventually I'll need some if logic in here. Um, I think that's the way I'm going to handle that this time. In previous times that I've done this, I've created separate classes for wheeled and tracked vehicles, but I really think I think that ended up being overkill. So I'm just going to continue forward using this single class and add if logic to it if it's a tracked vehicle at some point. But for now, I'll just leave this set yaw input and uh, compile this. Um, and I'll go ahead and compile it now, get the editor fired up. Also, actually, while that's building, there's actually another change I want to make too, which is um, to keep this simple. Um, right now, I have a single throttle axis that goes from -1 to 1. Um, what I want to do is if I'm passing in a negative number here, if value is less than 0, we want to set the brake input instead of the throttle input. So let's go ahead and add that now. And I'll remember if I want to pass in the absolute value here or not. I'm going to leave it like this for now and go ahead and compile. We can check after I get the editor running. If it doesn't work right, I probably need to be passing in the absolute value here, but I'll leave it this way for now. Okay, so I recompiled, my editor's restarted. Let's see what I write now. When we left off, the wheels are going up and down correctly. Tank is now turning, but it's extremely slow, so I'll have to look at that. And reverse is still not working, so I probably need to I probably do need to grab the absolute value of that throttle input. Interesting, it turns better to the right than it does to the left, which I think is a little bit odd. But either way, it's slow. So let's take a look at the movement component and see if there's some settings we can play with to get that a little bit better. So let's see here. As brake, throttle as brake. Throttle will behave like a brake while the vehicle moving in a backwards direction. Let's check that and see if it makes any difference at all. Okay, let's make this 4, 2. There we go. That's better. We're just still not working. So what I'm going to do, I think, first in the animation blueprint is you can see that the wheels are moving up and down as we go over this little obstacle here. Whoops, I didn't line up very good that time. Um, but the track doesn't go up and down. See how the wheel is up, but the track is still down on the ground there. We need to animate the track so that it moves up and down with the wheels. So that's what we'll do first. So let's open this guy up and let's take a look at the skeleton real quick because the way this is set up, just want to show this. Um, let's look at the right side. So if we look at this wheel, it also has a corresponding track bone as well. And if we move that bone up and down, you can see, actually, you know what? Maybe, yeah, okay. So if we want to move the track up and down, we need to update the translation of the z coordinate of the track to match the z coordinate of the wheel. Let me open that. Save that. There we go. Fix. What if I make this 4 and 2? And I also set reverses for throttleless brake, even though that didn't appear to actually work. Okay. Need to make some room here. And then we are going to use, what is the name of this node? Copy bone. Copies the transform data of any component. That's what we want. So we want to copy bone. And we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 2. So we need 12 of these. I just do 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Three, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. We're gonna copy the translation. Source bone. Do the left side first. We're gonna take the source bone is gonna be the wheel, and the destination or target bone is gonna be the track. Really, I only need the Z. I mean, I don't think it's gonna hurt anything to copy the whole thing, but I don't really need the whole thing. Yeah, I don't think this is what I want. 1 second. I think I want. Let's see. No, no, I think I did want copy. Yep, I think that's what I want. Let me check. Let's try it out on the right front wheel. Now look at that, it's messed up. That's not gonna work. 1 second. Okay. This is not what I want. Uh, what I want, I think, yeah, phone-driven controller. Let's see what this has in it. source bone, right wheel, destination, right track. Yeah, this looks more right. Let's see here. Station Z. Okay, there we go. See the track. Track is now moving. I'm stuck. I need to play with the torque still. Torque's not quite right, but it definitely moved the way I wanted it to. Okay, so let's Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, just do the right sides real quick, just to. That's the target. Back, heel, heel. 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. Okay, 4, 5. And we need 6 and 7. Target bone, track, source bone, wheel. Track. Okay. So if we save that and run, there we go. Now the tracks are moving up and down with each wheel. So, okay, going nuts on me. Okay, so now we just need the exact same thing for the lefts. I'll pause this while I go update all these so you don't have to follow along. Okay, I've got all these updated, so I'm going to compile this and we'll run it. We'll just check the other side real quick. It looks like it's going up and down correct. So now we've got the tracks translating up and down with the wheels properly. Now we just need, well, there's a couple things we need. One, we need to animate the tracks so that they rotate around the wheels when the wheels move. Uh, so we need to do that, and we need to move the sprockets. There's a sprocket in the front and a sprocket in the back. Those both need to rotate as well with the wheels. So let's do that first. Let's get those sprockets moving. Okay, so we got four of them, two on the right, two on the left. So I believe we're going to want to use this exact same bone-driven controller. Bone-driven controller, and we're going to do the source bone. We will do the wheel right in front of or behind the sprocket. So we're going to do, we'll do the right sides first. We're going to do right 1 and 9 are the two that we need to rotate. So we'll do right wheel 2 and destination will be right wheel 1. And we are going to do the rotation around, is it the X or the Y? It is the, whatever. Yeah, 50-50 shot of being right. I can never remember which axis is which. Let's take a look. Nope, didn't get it. Uh, Oh, hang on. I'm missing source component. Maybe that was the problem. Let's see. Yep, there we go. So you can see that front sprocket rotating now. So now let's do the back one, same side. And this is going to be 07. We'll take wheel 7 and we will copy that to wheel 9. And there we go. Seems to be working. So let's now copy both of these and paste them down here. And change these to the left. So left wheel 01, left wheel 02, wheel 07 to left wheel 09. There we go. Let's go ahead and comments on these. Go. Track, track translation and sprocket rotation. So both of those are working. Let's take a look real quick at the other side just to make sure. Yep, they're working. So now we just need to animate the tracks. Okay, so track animation. What we're gonna do here is they have this set up already in the material, I believe. If we take a look, the vigilante vehicles, take a look at the materials here, and there's a track material. And if we take a look at this, um, right up here, there's a global scalar parameter value offset V, and I believe this is already set up. Yeah, so if you change this value, it's going to make the texture appear as though it's moving. So there's this parameter that we need to set on every frame of the uh, on every frame. We need to update this offset V. So we're going to do that in our vehicle class back in the code here. I'm going to save everything. Close this out. Wait for the editor. Okay, so my editor's launched, and I think I'm going to go ahead and see this is, I think I'm going to go ahead and need to, it doesn't matter right now, but I guess I'll go ahead and add the property that I know I'm going to need eventually, which is bool B is tracked vehicle. Just default it to true. And we'll make a U property for that. And that way, I can go ahead and do this. I can go ahead. Oh, look, my throttle. What in the world did I do? Throttle input that I thought I fixed to do the brakes is not here. Did I put it somewhere where I wasn't paying attention? I'm not sure. I'll go ahead and value is greater than 0. Set throttle input, else. Okay, so my steering is fixed, my throttle is fixed. Now this is some code. Whoops, let me grab this code again. I've got some code that I've used before. Okay, here we go. So this is straight copied from a previous project. Basically what we're doing is grabbing the dynamic material instances for the left and right track, and then we're updating that offset V parameter that we exposed by clicking that checkbox, and we're just setting it to the forward speed in miles per hour, which there's probably a better way to do this, but I think this will be fine for now. Get forward speed mile per hour, pass it into each offset V, and that should be all we need for now. I'm going to go ahead and compile this and I'll relaunch the editor. Okay, so I got my editor relaunched here. Let's go ahead and run and see what we got. So if we look at the tracks, now you can see the tracks moving. Brakes are not working. Now that I've modified that code, I'm guessing maybe I should have passed in the absolute value. Let me fix that real quick. Let me refire up the editor. Let's see here. I think what we want is, oh, what class is this going to be? No F math. It's still loading the projects. So while it's loading, let's take a look real quick at what I did on the aircraft. You can see we made a custom struct to hold all of the things that we needed to replicate. And obviously, we're probably going to add some more to this at some point. But we need to do the same thing for the ground vehicle. So let's see. There's probably a couple other properties I need here. Let's do has turret. Let's do let's just do has turret for now. Let's make a struct. Call it assistant. ground vehicle state. That the I think that's what yeah, F box aircraft state, so F box ground vehicle state. So the two main things that we're going to need to replicate on this tank are going to be the turret rotation and the pitch of the gun. So I'm going to do y'all. I don't know what to call this because it's not always going to be a gun. Call it barrel pitch. So those are going to be our two things that we need to replicate. Um, and so we need to add a property just like we did if we come back and look at um, the aircraft, right? We did a property with a replicated using. We need to do the exact same thing here. Go vehicle and come back and look at this. Um, to add the U function, and we need this function as well. So we'll just copy both of these. And let's generate code for these. Move these down at the bottom. And let's take a look here what we did in the aircraft. So getting the state, and I don't really actually need this for the ground vehicle because this is already handled by the chaos vehicle stuff. So we can actually get rid of that. We don't need it. May need it eventually, but we don't need it right now. So I'm not gonna put it there for no reason. So we'll save that, and then we'll get rid of this. And in here, we will replicate the vehicle state. There we go. And now let's see if we can fix this right here. pass in the absolute value of the value instead of the negative number. All right, let's compile this. And obviously, we're not going to use any of that replicated information yet, um, but we might as well go ahead and add it. We know we're going to need it. So um, I do need to add U properties, actually. This needs to be on both of these. Let's kill that, save, and rebuild, and I'll let that finish, and then I'll load the editor back up. Okay, so I've got the editor launched here, and the one thing I want to check is that absolute value logic. Let's see what happens now when I, uh-oh, see what this tells me. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I need to set that property to replicated because I got rid of the replicated using and didn't replace it with replicated. So right here, I had replicated using and I removed it, but I needed to replace it with just straight replicated. Whoops. And now I'm gonna have to wait for this to load before I can compile and restart the editor. So I'm gonna pause. It'll be probably a little bit. Okay, editor's loaded now. Let's see what we got. Okay, if I start rolling and now I hit the brake, there we go. Uh, Still not quite right. You can see my wheels are spinning backwards, but I'm moving nowhere. And if I let go, it just starts moving forward again, even though I'm not hitting the throttle. So I got a bit of an issue there. I'll have to figure out. But we've we've got it turning. We've got everything animated. I think it's going too fast. I don't really know how fast it's going. I guess I can uh, show bug chaos vehicles. Is that it? Let's see. It doesn't really give me the speed. I'd have to build some sort of quick HUD to get the actual speed. So I don't know if it's moving too fast, really. Looks like it accelerates pretty fast. I don't really know exactly how fast it should be, but that looks quite fast. So maybe I can give it a little more mass. Let's see what happens if I turn off the throttle as brake. See what that gets me. Still, now that I've got reverses brake off, it doesn't stop at all. Give this thing, let's see if it accelerates a little slower. That seems a little bit better. Like I said before, I'm not looking for perfection here. We just want it to move, you know, fairly realistically, or at least appear to move fairly realistically. So all I need to really do is figure out why reverse isn't working for me. I think about that for a minute. So one thing I notice as I'm looking through here is my automatic transmission has a change up of 4,500 RPMs and change down of 2,000, but my max RPM is only 2,500. So I think I should make this change up RPM like 2,200 and change down should be like 900. Probably means I wasn't getting out of first gear, which means this thing is actually going to move a lot faster than I really want it to. Well, it looks like my transmission gear ratios are not going to be correct. May go to AI and ask it for some good values here. I'm going to go ahead and change this throttle back because I don't think this is what I want. So I'm going to change this back to 0 on brake input, and I'm going to compile that and see if I can play around with the settings to get the reverse working the way I want. So I'll let that compile and then I'll relaunch the editor, and I'm going to update a bunch of other settings as well, I think. Okay, so I'm restarted here. Just see where I'm at. Okay, so we got some settings here I'm going to use. Oops. So I think, let's see. Mass, okay, mass 42. Is much heavier than I had it. It wants to put CG minus 40. Let's take a look here. Torque curve 35, 4,000. Okay, 3,500. 500. 1,000. It's going to be 4,000. 2,000 is going to be 3,000. Back and let's see, transmission 4.5, 3.0. Four dot 5, 3.0, 2.0, 1.2, 2, and then one reverse. And I think it said 4. Yep, okay. Now suspension. That's going to be back in my wheel. So let's see. That's 250,000. You see stiffness. Cornering stiffness. I don't think that's exactly what that means. Spring rate is really, let's see, max raise, max drop, 10 and 15. Being 10,000, stiffness 250. That's really going to be spring rate and smoothing. That's damping, okay. Suspension damping, 10,000. These numbers are going to be quite right, but we'll see. Friction, longitude 3, lateral 3.5. These really match. I think we're getting old values here. Do you think my radius is, let's see, 45 and 50? Let's do 45. Mass is probably quite a bit more, but it didn't give me that. Let's see what this gets me. Ooh, yeah, that spring rate is all kinds of not correct. Let's put that back to put it at 5,000, see what happens. Still way too much. Okay. I just put it all the way back to what it was. I think it was 250. Still,
Brake is still not correct. Brake. I have to take a look at some of my previous work to see what I did as far as braking and reversing because it's just not working out for me. And I don't like the way that suspension looks now. It looks totally fake. My wheel radius is too much now. Still too much. You can see how the wheels are up in the air. So it appears that 35 was probably the right number there. Yeah, that looks about, I mean, that, I don't think it's going to get any better looking than that. Does not have, doesn't have the juice. Let me get rid of some of that mass. Know that that other number is probably more correct, but really we're just trying to get something that has a decent feel. Doesn't I don't care if the numbers are actually accurate at the end of the day, as long as it looks like it's moving like a tank should move. I don't really like the way those wheels suspensions still look. They still look kind of hokey. Not terrible, but I guess that'll be good enough now. I'll probably see it. So I need to figure out why the reverse and brake are not quite working the way I want. So I'm gonna have to look that up. I'll probably deal with that in the next video. And then the other thing we need to deal with in the next video is turning the turret and and the pitch of the cannon. So in there, way down power. Something just does not want to go over that hump now. Hmm. Let's see, my final ratio should be final drive 5 to 6. Let's try 6. Should give it a little bit more oomph. Let's change this to that's a little bit better. There we go. Okay. I like that a lot better. So I just need to figure out reverse. I can stop, but I can't go backwards. Automatic reverse is on. There we go. That's the setting I needed. Oh, now I can't. Going forward doesn't go forward, but I can't stop. Or I can go backwards, but I can't stop. Mm, I just got to figure out reverse. So I'll do that in the next video, and we'll make the turret and the gun work in the next video as well. And then I need to get back into working on the campaign a little bit because I've already forgotten where I left that. So um, that's where I'll stop for now. Next video, continue working on the tank, and then uh, probably work a little bit more on the campaign after that. So um, till then, take care, and I'll see you then.